Hi and welcome back to Tripplikit, and today we are going to talk about printed circuit boards. Up to now I've sort of rather shied away of using PCBs, so we've ended up with this sort of arrangement. So this is a Arduino AT Mega under there, and that's a shield board that goes on it, and this is a piece of strip board, as you can see. When this is the battery tester charger project, so all the components that actually drive the current are on here. However, I sort of knew we were going to have to get into printed circuit boards at some point, because we have upcoming this, which is my octopus clock, which had a clock mechanism and hands going through the hole here. I had decided to, instead of putting another, well, I put a second mechanism in and it was a cheap one and it failed, so I was going to do something funky, and I still am. Just put 60 LEDs around here and I have them tell the time, and I reckon, given the fact we're going to get 60 LEDs accurately in a circle, using strip boards probably a waste of time on this. So I was going to have to develop a PCB for this. However, I sort of thought, well, actually now is a good time, and we'll get into PCBs just as a separate thread on the channel. So okay, there are two sort of issues surrounding PCBs. You have to design and lay out a PCB. The good old days of Letrasetti type tracks straight onto the copper and then into a bath of your own ferric chloride. Those days are sadly, well actually happily, no longer with us. So we need a PC program, a computer program, to design the schematic, lay out the board, cross-check it all, generate Gerbers, which we then send off to somebody who makes a PCB. Now these are for the USynth project, the electronic music instrument without a keyboard, that doesn't use a keyboard, to try and actually make an electronic musical instrument that doesn't have a keyboard. And I designed these using Works, when I was still working, using Works copy of Easy PC, which is the untriplicate price of £300, which is part of what's put me off. And the boards themselves, these were about £30 each, which again, for when you're making one of them, it's quite a lot of money for just a little fun project. Which has also put me off. So we need to think if we can make PCBs for Tripplikit friendly prices for a start. Okay, so those USynth PCBs were made by these people, Ragworm. So shall we see what they charge for PCBs? Start your order now. Okay. So width, let's say we're making 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters, which is about what those USynth PCBs are. So width 10, that's in millimeters, isn't it? Height 60, and quantity, we're going to say 5. Because making one PCB is really not worth the effort, so we'll put 5 in, and we scroll back up here. So that's £120. Okay, so should we add that to basket? Okay, so here we are. We're in the basket. And
Yeah, £120 including VAT, so 100 without VAT. Shipping, very reasonable, £1.49 to York, so total £121.49. Okay, so I googled ragworm PCB, and top of the listings, so somebody's paid Google or got their SEO right, come PCBWay.com and JLCPCB.com. So shall we try them? Okay, firstly, okay, here we are, PCBWay.com. Shall we see what they can offer us? So millimeters, again, 100 by 60, quantity 5, no fewer than 5, which is reasonable, I suppose. And quote now. Here we go. So quantity 5, total $5. Shipped to United Kingdom, founded eventually. Of course, they're not in alphabetical order, unhelpfully. 3 to 7 days, and shipping is $22, giving a total of $27. Now if we save that to cart, it'll ask me to sign in, so I won't. Okay, $27, so whatever, £27. So, okay, so should we now try JLC PCB? So dimensions 100, we are gonna ask it for 60, 2 layers, 5 pieces, 1.6 quote. Special offer £1.51. That's crazy. So we look down here, single type of PCB, PCB colour, yes. Hassle, should we see what they want for? Oh, they want an extra 83B for lead free finish. I think we'll go for that then. 1 ounce gold fixture, confirm. Okay, I'm not putting any advanced options in. Okay, so it gives a shipping estimate of £3.85 here, but that's 12 to 16 business days, so that's probably the best part of a month, possibly, which we can live with, because I tend to do a bit on a project and then I do a few other bits on other projects, so you know, it's not as if we have to get something done and a product out. So that is a total of £5, £6 something, which is just completely insane. You couldn't buy that area of strip board for that money.
Which brings us to, I suppose, a bit of an ethical dilemma, since Ragworm are an English company and claim to be a sort of communitarian operation, serving sort of hobbyists and educationalists and I guess people like me, and you know, I feel sort of rather bad about turning my back on them and just going to something ridiculously cheap out of China, just I suppose like we do with everything else. But at £120, it makes sort of these little projects quite expensive, considering it's only really a bit of fun. I'm not ever going to make the money back. So I suppose at £120 I would probably hum and ha and not build the project, where at a few pounds I think, oh well, let's get in there, let's get a PCB made and get on with the project. So I think though I'm unhappy with it. I'm going to be ordering some PCBs very cheap from China. Okay, so much for getting our PCBs made, but before we do that, of course, we've got to design them. Now, as I already mentioned, I used EasyPC in the past from Number One Systems, which is 300 and some pounds. So let's pass over that one and see if we can find some PCB design software that's a lot cheaper, or preferably even free.
Okay, so I do my usual and just googled free PCB software, and electronicslab.com came up with a list, so we're going to just go with their list. So top is Autodesk Eagle, which used to be free, or used to have a free version of Eagle, but sadly isn't anymore, so we're going to skip them. So we've got KiCad, which is open source, which we like, cross-platform, that looks possible. Fritzing, which is another open source one, so we could have a look at that one. And Design Spark, which is pushed by RS, a UK components company, so I guess once you've developed it, it will push you to pretty hard towards RS to buy your components, but that's not necessarily a big problem. So what should we try first? Well, we'll try the order they appear here. We'll try KiCad or KiCad. Download. So we're here in the download page, and the latest version, November 2020, so it's still being developed, which is good. And we want Windows. CERN, Switzerland. 64-bit recommended. Okay, that's presumably the download site. Let's see what happens. Save file. Oh god, 1.2 gigabytes. That's a big one. Right, so I shall shut the recording down and bring you back when it's downloaded. Okay, it's downloaded. Shall we see if we can install it? So let's just go straight into the open file. Here we go. Okie dokie dokie, let's go. Alright. Shall we do the defaults? And we're off. Okay, it took a wee while. To edit and create 3D object models, you will need to install FreeCAD. I shall do that if I want to do 3D models. Right at the moment I don't. Okay, so installed. Shall we fire it up? We've got an icon on the desktop, and there it is. So shall we get started and see if we can generate a schematic first, I guess.
Okay, so what I have decided to do is, rather than just messing around on sort of try-out circuits, just to go straight into a project. And what I am going to try and do is take these components off this piece of strip board and make a board like this, which plugs straight onto the Arduino Mega, but has all this componentry on it as well. So that's the project, and I think it's probably a good place to end this video and actually start a new video when we start working on it. So I am going to call it time on this video now. So as usual, subscribe, comments, thumbs up, and for now that's it. So it's goodbye from Tripplikit, home of interesting electronics. Goodbye.